In 2021, there was a silver deficit of 81 million ounces, followed by an even larger deficit of 253 million ounces in 2022. Despite these deficits, 2023 marked the second highest year for annual silver demand on record, with a total demand of 1.27 billion ounces. This high demand contributed to the continuation of deficits in the silver market. Over the 3-year period from 2021 to 2023, the Silver Institute estimates that there has been a cumulative deficit of 474 million ounces, which is equivalent to 14,743 tons of silver. This underscores the persistent imbalance between supply and demand in the silver market. The Silver Institute, citing Metals Focus, emphasizes that the structural deficit in the silver market will persist beyond 2024. According to Metals Focus, this deficit is due to significant and expanding industrial demand for silver. And looking at this chart, it's safe to say that these deficits aren't only going to continue to persist, but also get worse. Remind you, we have a cumulative deficit of 474 million ounces over the last 3 years. So that means in another 3 years, we could be looking at a cumulative deficit of 1 billion ounces of silver. This week's specials from Miles Franklin are 90% silver dimes and quarters, only $2.75 over spot, backdated silver maples for $3.25 over spot, and pre-33 $10 gold liberties for $34 over spot. We have a massive inventory along with cheap prices. You can text, email, or call slayer@milesfranklin.com, and I'd be happy to help. Now let's get into the video. So, reflecting upon those numbers that I showed in the introduction, the structural supply deficits and how it's going to persist in the foreseeable future, it means two things. First thing is, it's going to be an extremely stressful, chaotic, expensive, and just bad day for anyone that needs silver. But two, it's going to be an extremely profitable and great time for those that own silver. See, I'm a realist. I look at things for what they are. I don't look at the emotional attachment or any of that. I look at the fundamentals. And these are facts. The silver shortage is very bad. It is getting worse, and there's nothing we can really do about it. And another fact is that we are going to continue to need more and more silver. Another fact is production is slowing down, or at its max is still hundreds of millions of ounces below our annual demands. The record-breaking supply deficits will continue, as shown in this chart. Another fact is that silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, and light sensitivity. And as we advance digitally, not only in just solar panels, EVs, and silver lithium-ion batteries, and 5G towers, but also military and aerospace, we are going to continue to need more and more and more silver. Another fact is that silver is extremely valuable, but the price is extremely cheap. To look at how valuable, how useful silver is, and to put it sitting at $27, that's a no-brainer that it is extremely undervalued. Not even looking at the gold to silver ratio, just looking at the metal itself and what it's used for. Those are facts. And if you know anything about investing, you have to look at what that thing is worth for a futuristic perspective, not for what it's at now. Most people look at silver for what it's at now. $27, oh, that's nothing, oh, whatever, why would I touch that? It's not doing anything. Not looking at where it's headed. You're investing into something. If you're an investor, you're investing into that project, into that thing because you see potential for it. You're looking ahead. Most people aren't investors, they're gamblers. They see something, throw money at it, just hope it works. That's not investing. Investors make strategic decisions based off information, and this information blatantly shows that we need a lot more silver a lot quicker than we can get it. And actually, as time goes on, we're only digging ourselves a deeper hole, pun intended. So this is a very informational article showing how severe the shortage is, but I want to focus on this article today because it talks about what a predicted silver shortage could mean for investors. This article proves the shortage, and now this article is talking about what that means. So you kind of see why I structured this video the way I did. So, with the release of the Silver Institute Survey 2024, and by the way, the Silver Institute is known for minimizing their numbers. So that means these numbers are actually even worse. The shortage is even worse than this because they also don't incorporate military and aerospace in their numbers, which those two sectors are known to be more than solar alone, which solar is the #1 sector taking up the most silver. So that means these numbers could be double, maybe even higher, which is insane to think about. Projecting the second largest worldwide shortage of silver in more than 2 decades is easy to get excited about this commodity. Looking back, we can draw parallels between the current market and those of 2010, which, by the way, why they mention that is because silver hit $50 in 2011. So as such, I cannot help but wonder if we are poised for a significant deja vu moment in the silver market. If history does repeat, it's highly likely we will see a monumental move in silver prices, which will offer savvy investors a unique opportunity. Why demand for silver is soaring? What will drive silver to surge? Right now, demand is skyrocketing beyond its traditional uses to emerging technologies, including EVs, renewable energy projects. Much like gold, silver has been used as a safe haven asset during economic uncertainties, inflationary pressures. I see no reason why this would not continue. In 2010, a number of factors, including loose monetary policy, geopolitical tensions, catapulted silver prices from 17 to a peak of nearly 50 in less than a year, resulting in a gain of almost 200%. Fast forward to today, and you will see the same characteristics in the silver market. It is true, right? I mean, it goes from 2008 to 2011. From credit financial crisis, recession, depression, all the billions of dollars in stimulus handed out led to $50 silver. And then you can compare that to today, recession/depression, credit financial crisis, trillions of dollars in stimulus, a global pandemic, all these wars, and a very controversial election coming up, along with a shortage and many other things as well. So if that pushed silver to $50 back then imagine what it could do today, because $1 trillion is a much bigger number than $1 billion. And we were handing out billions of dollars in stimulus back then. Now we're talking about trillions of dollars. And not only just stimulus, also the hundreds of billions to other countries. So we are in a much more severe situation. Much more. So anyways, it does make sense. And anyways, just looking at this, if you're going to look at something, like I said, you have to look forwards. You have to look forwards. We're talking about 474 million ounces has been the cumulative deficit over a 3-year period. Over a 3-year period. That is insane. That is insane. And this is expected to, or likely to, endure in the coming years. This underscores the ongoing importance of silver in various industrial applications and highlights the challenges in meeting the growing demand for this precious metal. Philip Newman, the managing director at Metals Focus, emphasized the deficit in the silver market serves as a strong support and foundation for the price. Despite a 30% decrease in the deficit last year, it remained substantial at 184.3 million ounces. See, and this is the craziest part, is even with a decrease, we were still at 184 million ounce deficit. We are talking about a demand of 1.27 billion ounces, right? And then we are talking also about a stable 1 billion ounce mark with supply, while industrial demand witnessed a notable growth of 11%. However, despite the shortage, visible silver inventories and significant metal stocks held by individuals, investors continue to shield the silver market from immediate pressure. And if you've seen a chart of LBMA, COMEX, vaults, I mean, they are all down dramatically. Newman highlighted that while identifiable silver inventories in off-exchange metals holdings remain considerable, some of these reserves may be tightly held. Consequently, the impact of ongoing deficits on the market remains to be seen. Reportedly, stocks held in commodity exchange depositories in London vaults experienced a 5% decline last year, amounting to nearly 15 months of global supply by the end of 2023. The majority of the decrease in reported stocks occurred in China, while rapid industrial demand growth of 44% is reshaping local supply-demand dynamics. And it's so crazy, like when I cover articles of people saying, oh, there's plenty of silver, like these guys don't know what they're talking about, I wonder if they actually look at the numbers or if they just assume what they think is right without actually doing the homework. Or maybe they're doing the homework but not checking if the answers are correct. Because if you look, even just take 10 minutes to look, you will see what mainstream media portrays and what the main narrative is, but within 5 seconds of digging, just watch one of my videos and you will see it all unfold beneath your eyes. It's so obvious that this is a problem that is still being swept under the rug, and that's why when I talk about silver quote unquote exploding, what I consider exploding is $100 plus. I'm talking about by the year 2025, 2026, right? Because you want to hear some crazy numbers, check this out. And this is what I talk about when I say it's getting worse. And those that are planning on selling in a year, if it hits $50, you will be selling yourself so short you won't even want to live with yourself afterwards, because there's so much more opportunity to be on $50, especially think about in 5 years from now, think about 10 years from now. What would this chart look like in 10 years from now? And what would that do to the price? Listen to this, look at these numbers. Silver squeeze, meeting demand amidst supply challenges. However, boosting supply isn't a straightforward task, given the limited availability of primary silver mines. Around 80% of silver supply comes from lead, zinc, copper, and gold projects, where silver is a byproduct, aka silver's mainly found by accident. This strain on supply led to concerns about future shortages. And by the way, there's very few primary silver mines. The biggest mines in America only produce around 15 million ounces of silver annually. 15 million ounces. And while we have a 474 million ounce cumulative deficit within 2021 to 23. A study from University of New South Wales suggests that solar sector alone could deplete between 85 to 98% of global silver reserves by 2050. Solar alone. So cut this time frame in half when also incorporating EVs, 5G towers, all the other things as well. Studies are ongoing for alternative technologies using cheaper metals, but their viability remains uncertain. Despite current price fluctuations, experts anticipate the substitution will become more appealing as silver prices rise, ultimately leading to a market equilibrium at higher price levels. But silver is the most highly conductive metal. Very hard to replace silver. It's almost impossible. We're talking about elements on the periodic table. Silver arrived here from asteroids and meteors. It's not made in the Earth's crust from volcanoes or whatever. Probably people actually believe that. No, silver arrived here from asteroids and meteors. There's only so much silver in the Earth's crust. And since it is a surface level metal, most of it's already been mined, and a lot of it's thrown away in landfills, never to be recycled. As the global silver deficit expands and demand surges, the market faces a complex landscape. The current surge in silver prices reflect market dynamics influenced by industrial consumption and investor sentiment. However, the journey ahead requires strategic planning to address supply challenges and sustain the silver market's vital role in the transition to renewables and net zero, which is another thing to talk about, right? The goal of zero net emissions by the year 2050 or whatever. How is that going to be possible? There's going to be a period where everything's going to shift, when everyone's going to wake up and say, whoa, this metal is extremely important. We don't have enough of it. What are we going to do? It's too late now. Why didn't we try to fix this problem earlier, right? It's too late. And I think we'll realize that situation around the year 2025, 2026. And that's when I think silver will truly, quote unquote, explode. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, these numbers are insane. If you really look at them, I mean, it is insane. So yeah, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, go into my giveaway. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.